BTS News Today. Shocking news comes from the military world when a doctor reveals that the blood of a soldier named Jungkook is contaminated with a dangerous substance. This incident is related to the poison incident that was spread in a military barracks a few days ago. This incident not only caused great concern among the military, but also into the spotlight of the wider community. What exactly happened? How does the poison spread? And, more importantly, what impact will it have on Jungkook and his colleagues? This article will thoroughly explore everything related to the incident, starting from the chronology of events, the medical impact, to the efforts made to save the victims. It all started with reports of a strange smell in one of the military barracks on Monday morning. A number of soldiers on duty reported symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, and shortness of breath a few hours after entering the area. The situation got more serious when some people began to lose consciousness. An initial examination indicates an unusual chemical exposure. The military immediately took steps to evacuate the barracks and isolate the area from activity. The victims, including Jungkook, were rushed to a nearby military hospital for intensive care. In the process of medical examination, a doctor discovers the shocking fact that Jungkook's blood contains harmful substances that should not be in the human body. The substance was identified as one of the toxic chemical compounds often used in industrial pesticides. The doctor in charge of this case, Dr. Han Ji-woo, explained, "We found a fairly high concentration of toxic substances in Jungkook's blood. This suggests that exposure to the substance occurs for quite a long time or in large quantities." Dr. Han also added that these toxins can cause damage to vital organs if not treated immediately. The effects can include nervous system disorders, liver damage, and even the risk of kidney failure. The dangerous substance found in Jungkook's blood is thought to be an organophosphate compound, which is often used in pesticides and other chemicals. This compound is known to be highly toxic if inhaled, ingested, or even absorbed through the skin. Exposure to organophosphates can cause symptoms such as mild symptoms, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and shortness of breath. Severe symptoms, convulsions, loss of consciousness, impaired organ function, up to death. According to experts, this compound has the property of quickly spreading into the bloodstream and can damage the central nervous system. In Jungkook's case, this exposure appeared to be severe enough to require immediate medical attention. News of Jungkook's blood contamination with this dangerous substance soon spread widely and sparked concern in various circles. Many wondered how the poison got into the military barracks, which were supposed to have tight security. Some even suspect sabotage or negligence in the management of chemicals in the area. This is a serious violation of safety standards. A military security expert, who declined to be named, said. Jungkook's family also expressed deep concern for their son's condition. "We only hope that he recovers quickly and that this situation can be resolved without further casualties," said one of his family members. To treat this contamination, the medical team performs several steps. Blood detoxification. This process is done to remove harmful substances from Jungkook's bloodstream. Administration of antidotes. The doctor prescribes special antidotes designed to neutralize the toxic effects of organophosphates. Intensive monitoring. Jungkook is closely monitored to ensure there is no further damage to his organs. In addition, the medical team also provided additional therapy to strengthen Jungkook's endurance and speed up the recovery process. While medical efforts continued, the military and investigative teams began to trace the origin of the poison. Initial allegations led to a chemical leak from a storage shed in the barracks area. However, it is also possible that the poison was deliberately spread by irresponsible parties. Some sources revealed that the barracks had just received a supply of chemicals for the purposes of military exercises. However, no one expected that the material could harm the soldiers. In addition to the physical impact, these incidents also put great psychological pressure on the exposed soldiers. Many of them are traumatized by this incident. "I never thought I would be in a situation like this in a military barracks," revealed one of Jungkook's colleagues. To combat this, the military is working with psychologists to provide counseling to affected soldiers. This step is expected to help them recover mentally and return to duty optimally. This incident became an important lesson for military institutions and the general public about the importance of safe chemical management. Some measures that can be taken to prevent similar events in the future include increased supervision, ensures all chemicals are managed to safety standards, special training, provide training to soldiers on how to deal with emergency situations involving chemicals, enhanced security system, implements advanced technology to detect leakage or misuse of chemicals. It all started with a report published earlier this week. Some soldiers in a military barracks in Region X began to show unusual symptoms, such as nausea, dizziness, vomiting, and loss of consciousness. At first, this symptom was considered the impact of fatigue from intense training. However, the soldiers' condition deteriorated suddenly, so they had to be rushed to the nearest military hospital. Jungkook, one of the soldiers who was among the victims, initially showed no severe symptoms. However, a few days later, the results of a medical examination showed that his blood had been contaminated with dangerous chemicals that are not commonly found in the military environment. The military immediately set up an investigation team to investigate the origin of the poison. Provisional allegations point to the existence of a chemical leak from a nearby laboratory or possible sabotage from outside parties. Doctors who treated the victims, including Jungkook, found that the dangerous substance in their blood was a chemical compound known as Class A neurotoxin. This substance is known to be very dangerous because it attacks the central nervous system and can cause permanent damage if not treated immediately. According to Dr. Han, one of the doctors who led the examination, these substances are not usually found in military areas. Most likely this substance came from an external source that was intentionally or unintentionally exposed to the soldiers. Class A neurotoxins have properties that are very difficult to detect in the early stages. Symptoms that appear are often mistaken for ordinary health problems, so victims often get the right treatment too late. In Jungkook's case, the presence of this substance was only revealed after the medical team carried out a series of follow-up tests, includes blood tests and in-depth toxicological analysis. The poison that contaminated Jungkook's blood had a serious impact on his health. In the released medical report, it was stated that his nervous system suffered moderate damage, which leads to impaired motor coordination and weakness in certain muscles. In addition, the poison also affects the functioning of the liver and kidneys, so he needs intensive care to prevent further damage. Jungkook is not the only victim. Of the total 25 soldiers exposed to the poison, 5 are in critical condition, while the rest experience mild to moderate symptoms. The military ensures that all victims receive the best medical care, but the recovery period is expected to take a long time, especially for those who have serious complications. After the incident, the military investigation team worked with health authorities and toxicology experts to identify the source of the poison. Preliminary investigation reveals several possibilities. Leakage of chemicals from the laboratory not far from the military barracks. There is a chemical research laboratory that is known to store various dangerous compounds. The provisional suspicion was that there was an undetected leak, so the harmful substances spread to the surroundings of the barracks. Sabotage by external parties. It is also possible that this incident was the result of sabotage by outsiders. The military suspects an attempt to undermine internal stability by covertly attacking soldiers. Contamination in the water or food supply. One of the main focuses of the investigation is the supply of water and food in the barracks. If the poison is spread through this route, then the entire army that consumes such water or food can be exposed. Medical teams have taken emergency measures to deal with the victims. One of the main approaches is to carry out blood detoxification using the plasmapheresis technique, which aims to clear toxins from the bloodstream. In addition, the victims are also given supportive therapy, such as antitoxic drugs, vitamins, and supplements to strengthen the immune system. For Jungkook, the recovery process is going quite well despite the challenges.